You're listening to WeP3 Radio. I'll introduce the Reads Across America Radio, with a mission to remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and teach future generations the value of freedom created by the men and women who have served our country. Right now on WeP3 Radio, JT and the Gunslayer.
You got it!
Trucker.
Dockers, roll out.
You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
To put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission, you have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 Team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it!
Trucker.
Good evening, Andrea Eichmann here. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are bringing you our weekly show called We Got Your 6 at 6. Every week we bring you a new guest. Many times we bring a new artist and share all the good and sometimes not so good things happening in our world. This week we have a group straight up from Minnesota, actually minutes away from me right now. We'll be hearing from Caleb and Kevin, and you know what? I don't remember who's with Caleb. I'm sorry, I forgot names already, but they're going to tell us about how Walleye Searchers of Minnesota take care of those who have served and treat them right. That's awesome, coming up on Veterans Day, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Our sponsors for tonight's episode include Catch 22 with Derek Iozio, Operation Texas Strong, the Boho Hobos Hideaway with Lauren Iozio, and our very own Cameron Gwinner, whose books can be found on Amazon. We'll share those in a little bit as well. We also have Brian Kenzer. He's with us. He supports WeP3 with his business, Smart Living Today, which is about American-made products and a stream to help support the People's Patriot Project while you are shopping. Reach out to our sponsor, Brian, to discuss getting on the right side of your health, supporting American families, jobs, and the economy, and supporting the WeP3 mission. And I've got a little link for you right here. I'm not sure if you heard it tonight or not. We also have our radio station. We are working hard with Wreaths Across America, not only here at Fort Snelling for the wreath placing day, but also Wreaths Across America radio. And our show, We Got Your 6 at 6, can be heard on Wreaths Across America radio Sunday evenings at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. Central. You can find Wreaths Across America Radio on the iHeartRadio app, the Odyssey app, and the TuneIn app. Just search the word wreath. By the way, that will be last week's episode on tonight's Wreaths Across America radio show. So Walleye Searchers, you guys are going to want to watch or listen next weekend. There's the link for our Wreaths Across America radio. Thank you very much to our sponsors, our guests, and our viewers. Before starting this week's show, we ask that you take off your hats, stand if you can, cover your heart, and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for that. I meant to say Caleb, Kevin, and Nick Dennis, and it was right there on the screen, but I was reading my script and I try to go back and forth. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here tonight. This will be super exciting. I have two more things I want to say really quick, you guys. We are coordinating the Wreaths Across America here at Fort Snelling as well, Peterson and I, and we had a bunch of helpers last year. We have a lot of helpers. But I was freaking out in September because we had 894 wreaths, and we only have 196,000 graves to cover. And everybody said, just wait. I'm like, I don't wait. Well, this is not working. We are up to almost 8,000, I think, right now. Well, actually, all the people I've talked to, we should be close to 15,000. So we just need another 15,000 more is all I'm asking for. But I want to just thank all of our helpers, Civil Air Patrol, Claudia, Stephanie, Peterson, Chris Walker, or Chris from, oh my goodness, Delta. And then some various legions and VFWs have been sending money in, and quite a bit of the auxiliary have been sending in money for Fort Snelling to get wreaths. So I have quite a few orders here as well. So thank you. Thank you to all those people and groups that have been helping out on that matter. And what was my second thing? It'll come back. Shoot. Oh.
We got it. So it is November 11th. Actually, November 10th.
It's the 10th. Yeah.
10th. Nothing special really coming out to my mind today. Nothing really that I can think of that's of great importance today. How did LSU do yesterday, Jonathan?
I'm sorry, you're muted. Only because I just muted you. we lost badly, man.
I mean, for the record, Jonathan lives in Louisiana, way down in Thibodeau. So he's got to be a fan, you know.
I think there were a lot of
the raging rabid destruction order of the Gophers didn't do so well yesterday either. To give a heads up, and this is a quick shout out, Mr. Johnny Holiday and his crew did the national anthem in Rutgers for the game for Rutgers, Minnesota yesterday. They flew out the day before, and they got to do the national anthem. Of course, we don't get to see the televised versions of it, so you have to go out, and Johnny will have that stuff out there posted for us and everything. But we love watching Johnny and the work he does, and he is a veteran and works with the Department of Justice and is a musician on top of that. And you'll hear his work also on WeP3 Radio. All right, Jonathan, let's tear this Band-Aid off. Tell us what's in the news.
All right. The month of November is Military Family Month, and the observance is to recognize the sacrifices that the families of those in the uniform make in support of their loved ones. Without the commitment and dedication of these families, of the families of our service members, it would be impossible for our military to remain focused and ready. They are the patriots that take on the challenge of keeping our military members focused and picking up the holes left when their loved ones are away on duty, as well as being valuable pieces of the local communities that they call home. Very few people know and understand the sacrifices that a military family member makes. There are approximately 84,000 military couples that face the possibility of being deployed at the same time. Military families will relocate every 2 or 3 years on average, and that's finding new homes, new schools, new jobs, new support teams, new friends every 2 or 3 years. So it's a sacrifice that rivals the men and women that actually put on the uniform. Today is in case you didn't already know, and you probably did, today is the Marine Corps birthday. Marines have taken part in nearly every single U.S. conflict since their inception. The U.S. Marine Corps birthday honors the history, values, and memory of our heroes who have served and rekindles the bond which unites generations of Marines. This day celebrates traditions of the Marine Corps with profound respect, paying tribute to the heritage of the distinguished service. There are approximately 144,000 Marines on active duty, with another 40,000 on reserve today. Semper Fi, Marines.
Semper Fi, Marines.
November 11th is tomorrow. That's Veterans Day. I think that one's, it should be self-explanatory. I mean, the day is to honor all those who have taken the oath to serve their country and protect against enemies, both foreign and domestic, those that are with us and those that are gone and those that are still serving. And that is all that I have in the news.
We love our Marines. It is, and we joke about it. And I'll be honest, and I know some of you guys embrace this. We were at a show down in Southern Illinois, and one of our Marine musicians was getting ready to get on stage, and I try not to get into the sling mud banter of stuff. I try to stay away from that. So I don't even do the Marines eat crayons kind of thing, because I just don't want to take one off. It seems like they embrace it, but I try and stay away from it. But you guys realize it's one day out of the year, which is good and it should be celebrated, but you don't get to celebrate Marine's birthday every day of the year. I'm just going to let you know that right now. You get one day, and that is today. And after today, we don't hear about any more until next year at this time. That's the rules. That's the way it works. And so, are any of our guests tonight Marines?
I am not.
Nope.
Oh, no, sir.
Nope.
That's too entirely bad. No, we love our Marines. We love all of our service members. We got a bunch of shout outs. And again, some of you might need to reestablish your connection with StreamYard. I see a lot of Facebook users tonight in the chat, but Amanda, good to see you here tonight. Always, you've been amazing. We love your support and thank you for all the things you do. You are Miss Eichmann has thrown some shout outs to Ryan Schultz, who does sport the crest on his fishing boat. I have an idea who all these people are, but I just want to make sure you got your connection all set up, and it's good. We used to have that. Say it again.
Jeremy. It's Jeremy Tacos.
Jeremy Daniels Taco, yes. Tacos for sure. Jeremy, yes. Yes, Jeremy. Yes, Jeremy. So we are here. It is, like I said, November. Lots of stuff in the news. We have a new president-elect. Not a new one. One that has been there before. That's not a surprise that it's part of it. We don't get into the conversations and the banter of that. So we just wish the support of any man, woman, human person that sits in that chair. We need to make sure as a collective, I really do think it's our role now that we've gone and voted the way we've chosen. We now have the privilege and the honor to support who's sitting in that chair as well. So that's my position. You can have a conversation with me if you'd like to. I know a lot of people don't necessarily feel that way, but life's life. Outside of that, Andrea, and introduce our guests to us.
Well, look at this. I've had some conversations with Caleb. God, I got it right. Nice job. Yay. Over here. I did the creeper thing. I don't know where I saw you guys pop up, and maybe now that I think about it, maybe it was with Ryan on his page or something. But so I just reached out because I saw that they did a lot with veterans, and they're right here in Minnesota. That's a big thing. We sometimes don't find people from Minnesota as much, so it was time. And so I want to welcome you guys here. And then I saw that so the pool you're in is right below Red Wing. Is that right? The Red Wing Dam.
Correct.
So I was hoping, I might have to share some of the secrets about where to catch, because normally we're between the Hastings and Red Wing pool 2. Is that right?
Yeah.
That'd be 3.
3. Yep.
That's 3. Okay. Yeah. See, I'm not.
Ryan Schultz in the house.
There he is. Very cool.
Mr. Schultz, we're only awesome because of the amazing people like you that support what we do. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Gosh, but we met him. I don't know if I should share this, but we met him the first time at a sturgeon fishing outing.
Yeah.
On the St. Croix, which we didn't fish. I don't like the cold, and Peterson didn't want to be out late or something. I don't know, but we didn't fish on that one. We were there for all the pre stuff. There was a little ceremony and a dinner and some prizes and music, and that one was very fun. But anyway, so I've been looking through Walleye Searchers of Minnesota webpage and Facebook page, and you were awesome to send me a bunch of pictures. And so I think right now we should have you tell a little bit about how you got started doing this.
So the overview of the club. The club has been around for about 35 years. It was actually started by Gary Parsons and Keith Cabayas. They actually worked at IBM here in Rochester. And basically what they wanted to do is they just wanted to get a bunch of their buddies together and fish. And it just grew off of that. So, it started with 2. The group got a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. Obviously, present day, I think we're sitting like right around 50 members right now. Every year, it goes up and then it goes down. You have your years where you have a ton of members, and then you have your years that are down a little bit. But I would say actively, we always have around 50 members in our club. Our mission statement is right there on our website, and it basically is to bring people together through fishing. And some of the things that our club has stemmed off to, we'll talk about tonight, like our Take a Vet fishing event, our spring seminar, our Lake Pepin Open, and our most recent high school fishing team sponsorship opportunities. So as this club grows, so do our activities, our community involvement. So with me is Nick Dennison, and then Kevin Valento. I believe he is at home. He is up in the cities. So our Take a Vet fishing event, Nick actually kind of pioneered. I think you had this idea where we wanted to do something, and I've only been in the club for I think 6 years. Nick's been in the club for 12, 15. Yeah. And Kevin is about the same. So I'm very new to this organization. But Nick kind of pioneered this and got the Take a Vet fishing event up off the ground. You ran it for like 7 years?
8 years.
8 years. So
we had started it kind of as a way to get involved with our community. And we were trying to find ways, like as Caleb mentioned, to segue out and bring people together fishing. And through a group discussion at our club, we kind of came to the idea of, how can we give back to our community? And obviously veterans, everybody said, absolutely. Let's get some of these guys out that whether they be wounded or Korean War vets that maybe don't have the opportunity to go out in their own boat. And that's how it kind of took off. And we just ran with it. As a club, the support has been, and as a community, not just the club, because we couldn't do it without our community. It has just grown phenomenal. And the support we get is overwhelming almost. It's just amazing. And we've taken it from the first year we had 15 veterans to last year. We're well over 60 veterans for this event. They range all the way from Korean War vets to Gold Star families to active duty military. It's really a great time, and look forward to doing it many more years.
Absolutely. So Nick stepped away as the chairperson this year just because he was working with both of your boys in football and baseball and stuff. So just, doing the dad thing. And then Kevin, he actually stepped in as the chairman this year. Kevin, do you have anything like your first year running it?
I do. I mean, to be a part of it is one thing, but to actually be the organizer of it is a whole different thing. You really get to kind of pull that curtain back and see what's going on behind the scenes, and the excitement to get to know the anglers, the text messages, the phone calls, the emails, to get people confirmed for the event and actually get to meet some of them face to face the day of. It's awesome. I always tell members of the club, if you've never done it, you should, because really it's what the club is all about. I was fortunate enough to have a pretty good roadmap how to do this thing. If not for that, it'd have been tough. I mean, Nick did a great job with it. The club, it takes a village to do it. Caleb was very instrumental with all the social media. Nick was right there every step of the way when I had a question or whatnot. So it helped me a ton. So it made the day really enjoyable for me. And what's really cool to see are people that aren't part of the club who participate. Be it guys that want to back in boats or maybe help vets up into the boat. Those that want to be there for check-in. I mean, it's an amazing job that people do. So kind of like Nick mentioned, it's a community thing. It's not just the Walleye Searchers. It's a number of people throughout the state that participate to make this thing what it is. And literally the next day I was getting text messages, I'm in next year, Kevin, great. Or people that didn't do it this year, couldn't do it. Really, reached out to me and just said, I heard it was a great year. We want to do it next year. Kevin put me down. So I think this thing will go on for many years. And I think the vets really enjoy it. So I know we do, for sure.
Absolutely.
That's cool. There's one of your.
That's actually, it's a couple of our club members there that are actually veterans. But just getting ready. I think that was at breakfast. Just waiting for everybody to show up and get ready to hit the water.
How many events do you guys put on a year?
In regards to veteran events?
Yes.
Just the one.
Okay.
Just the one. But as Kevin kind of mentioned, you have Kevin's the organizer now, and the amount of work that goes into it, it truly is a year-long task, lining up boats, lining up veterans. And from day one, I've always said when I did it, and I shared this to Kevin and he agrees wholeheartedly, getting boats is probably the hardest part. So you don't want to outpunt your coverage, so to speak. So there's a fine line all year of teeter-tottering, boats and veterans, because we never want a veteran to sign up, show up, and we say, hey, we're sorry, we don't have a boat. So it truly is a year-long task. And eventually I could see us maybe having a spring and fall. If it continues to grow and get the positive feedback that it's getting, it may be one of those deals where, quite honestly, we have to, just so we can get everybody out, because it would be easier, if we only have 50 boats, as an example, we might have to break them into a spring and a fall event. That way we can get everybody on the water that wants to get on the water and have a day. That'll be down the road, though.
No, well, guess what? I would like to volunteer 2 boats for whenever you do your next one.
Kevin, get your pen.
Down. I got it down.
And this is tough, and I'm not trying to out anyone or throw anyone under the bus or any of that piece. It's a conversation because, when we first started the People's Patriot Project, we had a lot of marketing people saying, why are you getting into such a saturated field? And I'm like, we're losing 6,000 people a year to suicide. That doesn't even talk about the social emotional disorders and all the other plights of other pieces that are in play. So I have a hard time saying we're working in a saturated field, but there are a number of other organizations that are doing like things that you're doing. Do you communicate with them? Do you put your hand up and say, you know what, we're going to do our thing, you do your thing, we're not going to cross mingle or do anything? Tell me where you fit in that conversation.
I would say that we are our own entity. We have ourselves branded as Walleye Searchers of Minnesota, and everything that we do is intertwined in our club. Other than, like Kevin had said, we have sponsors and things like that for the meals and for the bait, for Take a Vet. But otherwise, we pretty much stick to ourselves when it comes to working with other organizations.
You know what, though? This gives validity to the fact, though, that it's not saturated. Even the number of fishing outings that we've been to and different groups that we've been with, clearly you guys are filling up and they're filling up. And there's, like we've always said, we can just keep building the net stronger because not one of us is going to do it alone. And so that's kind of where we come from, is this collaborated effort of, so I know somebody who just doesn't have a social life in Minnesota. They're new and they love fishing. Let's connect with you and get, you know what I mean? And I can connect them with whoever else, but maybe I know someone who likes hunting, or someone who wants to be on a swim team or a hockey team. I mean, these organizations are amazing, because that's sometimes all somebody needs is a little recognition that they're here and that they can belong somewhere. And watching veterans meet other veterans and hang out with other veterans, to me, I'm an outsider to that. And it's an amazing thing once the conversations start. I mean, we've had it just happen right on the show here quite often. And once that conversation starts, any sense of, I don't know anybody or I don't have anybody, that's gone now, or it's lightened at least. And so that's commendation for what you guys do. Thank you.
And to piggyback what you're saying, the very first year that I ever volunteered as a boater for Take a Vet, I have three veterans that always ask to go fishing with me now. But the first year that I ever volunteered to do this, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not sure what it's about. Nick and Kevin both assured me that it was going to be a great day, but you still are nervous and anxious, and you just want to
Perform.
You want to perform. You want to catch fish. You want them to catch fish. You want them to have fun. And I'll never forget when we got to our fishing spot, and it was kind of quiet in the boat. You're just making small talk, where, your name and, are you allergic to anything? Just making small talk, just making conversation. And we finally caught the first fish, and it was a sheephead, nothing to write home about, but it was a fish. And that is what started the conversation in my boat that day, that I learned. It was such a humbling experience. Both of the vets that are in my boat, they're both named Roger. And basically they left for boot camp at the same time. They got separated when they got overseas, and one Roger got back before the other Roger. And it took them 3 years to realize that they were both still with us, still alive, home, and safe. Their paths crossed in a local gas station, and they were high school buddies. They have all these stories, and I guess that's kind of what I'm leading up to, is they had no idea that they had both made it back from war until 3 years after they had gotten back. And when they told me that story, it was just so humbling. They now live right next door to each other because they're just that inseparable. And now when they get in my boat, they just sit and giggle and have a good time. And they tell me about the stories that I'm not supposed to hear about. But that to me is like, that was perfect. Whether we caught another fish the rest of the day or not, was to hear the behind the scenes. And just, it kind of put it in perspective, like what we kind of take for granted here. And it just, every time I think of it, it gives me goosebumps, honestly. It's pretty incredible.
I love it. There's more to hear. Mr. Kinzer.
Yeah. That's interesting. The conversations are amazing. And you never know, one of those guys could have been, somebody that was battling with demons 2 days before that and just didn't have any avenue to let it out. You may have been that avenue to let it out and brought him back on the track that it needed to be on. So you just never know where your interjection is going to make a difference. And so that's awesome to do that. Yeah, things are going great with me. My daughters and granddaughters, knowing who I am, took me to a parade. It's one of the oldest veterans parades in Wisconsin on Saturday, and it was really cool. I couldn't help but think that the People's Patriot Project should have some kind of a folks walking in it one year, but we can talk about that another time. But it was really cool. And talking about conversations, the parade was over. We went to have lunch and came back out, and there were still people standing in the street talking that had just met there, just, telling stories and getting to know each other. It was just a really cool event, and I was humbled to be there and happy to be there. It was cool. So Veterans Day coming up tomorrow. It's kind of an important day in my year. I just think it's one of those days out of the year that we should all remember to respect and appreciate veterans, because, we don't know them all, but we owe them all. I like to say that all the time. It also marks a 1-year anniversary that I started hanging out with the People's Patriot Project. So that means something to me. I've been around with you guys for a year. Just so happens to be the day that my mother decided to bring me into this world as well. So that makes it kind of a cool day for me. And yeah, so it's just a cool time from a year for me. We've got a lot of stuff going on with our veterans organizations here in Wisconsin, and I'm just excited to be a part of it. As well as Andrea mentioned, my company, Smart Living Today, we work with veterans and civilians alike, trying to get people on the right side of their health, shopping with an American store that we work with closely. And in doing so, we help people save some money and get healthier. And we also help support the People's Patriot Project when you do that. So there's a link in the comments. You can check it out a little bit. There's a contact page in there that comes directly to me, not to anybody else. So if you fill it out, I'll reach out to you. We'll talk. I'll tell you what it's all about, and you can see if it's right for you. So that's where I'm at, and I'm happy to be here. And I'm really excited because we're 37 minutes in, and I'm still an active first responder. So the algorithm for fire and EMS calls is so strange. Typically during this call, it always goes off, and so far it's been quiet. So I'm glad to still be here.
The funny part of this conversation is that exactly that conversation. Andrew's like, we got to get Brian on because the tones are going to go off here soon. And I'm just like, yeah, we're going to get it in there. So we did it. And if your pager goes off, brother, please be safe and go do your thing. And thank you for your continued service and your continuing the mission in serving as a first responder as well. And with that, I think this is a great time to bring up, we have many musicians across the country that we get to feature, A, on our show, B, on our radio station, and then in events that we get to go be part of as well. And we're going to play a Minnesota group here in honor of our Minnesota group here. And we're going to play Lake and Lindell, Still Here. You can hear them on WeP3 Radio.
I can't say for certain that there's any gold left in these hills. Perseverance pays us, so they say, and I just pray that it will. Each night the wolves howl, I scream back so they think I feel no fear. While I try to fall asleep, they just laugh and wonder why I'm still here. But I'm still here. I'm still here. I watch the flicker in the flame. I stay the same Planet all my pennies, call it gambling, 'cause there's no guarantee that I'll see any return, or did I bury all I have with history? Doubters call me crazy, saying that it's just a matter of time.
That is Lake and Lindale. Still here.
Lake and Lindale,
Yes.
still here.
Did you guys see that Ryan Schultz is in for your tournament or your fishing day?
I did see that he commented. Yep.
This one.
Yeah. Love
Peterson,
it.
do you think
What?
this is Chad? Do you think this is Chad Hutto?
I have no idea. I saw it, and Chad, if that is you, great. If it's not you, make sure you do a quick shout out to us so we know who you are, and again, get in there and move. What does that mean? Is Ryan throwing shots at you here?
There was a gnat that was flying around here, and I was just trying to get it away from my face.
You know what that was?
I know Ryan really, really well, so that's Ryan.
I didn't know if we should post it because I didn't know what the intent was, but thanks for clearing that up.
No,
well, at least you know he's paying attention, right?
Oh yeah.
So we're talking about not necessarily collaboration, but you've said that you're your own entity. We're doing this. One of the things, and again, random thought of the day is we do an event. We don't do the event. We participate in the event and the end of February for another organization, but that's an ice. Do you guys ice fish?
Not as a club, but as individuals, yes.
Sure. Would you be against being invited to that event to come and hang with us and be part of that day?
I think that'd be phenomenal. Kevin?
We'll have to.
Yeah, is that the Twin Cities Walleye event that they do?
No, it's the Fishing for Life event.
Okay.
And normally they hook us up really well with our space, and there's two sponsored entities, Federal Arms and Hoffman Weber, who put the ugliest fish house on the face of earth out there on the ice for us, and the people who don't. So this is funny, and it's kind of sad. He's not feeling well, so he had to dip. But people who don't know ice fishing have no idea what these fish houses look like. And it is, I mean, think about the nicest RV you've seen on wheels, and that's the fish houses these guys and people are putting out on the ice now. And it's safe, and a lot of our people down south don't think it's very safe, but it is very safe. And I don't hear too many stories. You do get some early season and late season, and people who haven't done what their diligence might put a truck or a fish house into the water, but it doesn't happen very often.
On occasion.
Kevin's in Okoboji a lot, I think.
It doesn't happen often. So, and who knows what the year's going to look like this year? If it's as mild as it was last year, we don't even know if we'll get out on ice this year either. So, but we're looking to kind of coattail. I don't know if that's the right word, but that event and bring some of our musicians into the space and do a breakfast and all this and blah blah blah. But we're down the road on that one. What is next for your organization? Are we looking for growth? Are we looking for? We kind of talked about the plausibility of another event. What do you guys want to get done with your organization?
I think obviously growth is something that you're always trying to. You always want to take the next step. So growth, whether it's more members. Like Nick said, being able to possibly put on 2 take-a-vet fishing events. It all takes manpower to do it. To piggyback off of what Kevin said, there's a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes and behind the curtain that not everyone sees. I think growth is definitely, it's always in the forefront of our mind.
what is, and I'm doing some speculation pieces here. What is like the Taj Mahal of your vision? Where do you want to go when this is all said and done?
I would say, as a club, more active members. And when I say active, I mean active members that are there. We can, you can lean on, instead of just one person cheering the event, we could have 3. And it takes a village, right? And I'm not even just talking about our veteran fishing event, our annual spring seminar, our the Take a Vet, the spring seminar, the Lake Pepin Open, all the stuff we do as a club. Growth is great. You get fresh blood in the club, you get fresh ideas. Like I said, that Take a Vet fishing event was my baby for many years. I thoroughly enjoyed it. All the work, and it's worth it. I mean, it is a blast. It was hard for me to give it up, but at the same time, with a family in the best idea of the club and the event, interject new blood into it. Let Kevin take and run with it. Even though we had great reviews, and Kevin did a phenomenal job. I had people calling me that were saying, we had a blast again. Kudos to you guys. And I said, I did nothing. It was Kevin. But that's because you got fresh blood, fresh ideas, right? So if we grow as a club, we get fresh blood, we get fresh ideas. And that benefits every avenue you do, whether it's just our club fishing tournaments, the events we do.
Yeah, like Pepin Open, our high school sponsorship opportunities. I mean, it helps the club just overall as a whole. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if I could just make a comment, I mean, as far as like the big picture for the club, I think organizations like, Pheasants Forever, right? Everyone knows that group, right? And what it does. It would be great to see at some point, at some level for us walleye searchers, right? That when you think of a walleye club in the upper Midwest, we're your first thought, right? So I think it's brand recognition. It's creating a better overall picture for everybody. We would like to be the go-to club to go to for walleye. I think that's what we'd like to be recognized as. And then, touching on the spring seminar, the Take a Vet fishing would not even be possible if we didn't have a successful spring seminar. It funds everything for us, right? Between our ticket sales, working with our vendors to get donated gifts, to do the silent auction, to bringing in, a high-level speaker that's the interest of the community come in and see every year before the season kicks off. So it all plays together. But I think, again, it's recognition of the club and how do we grow that? And obviously through new members, but also through social media. So, I think Caleb's a great job at that, putting us in touch with you, Andrea, so and the rest of the group here, which I think's great for us and for you.
Yeah, no, that's very good. I'm sure there are other groups watching that are thinking the same kind of thing. And I told a lot of people that fish walleye as well. Do you stay Lake Pepin, but do you stay? Is it always river fishing?
So for our club tournaments, yeah, mostly. Actually, last week was our monthly meeting, and our vice president, Gabe, he is also our tournament director. So he is starting to plan for 2025. And he had mentioned a really good idea of maybe throwing in a couple mystery tournaments, or there was talk of maybe doing an end of the year volunteer tournament or fishing day that would include like going to Lake of the Woods or Mille Lacs, or a premier destination in Minnesota. For myself and Nick and Kevin, we fish the AIM series or the MTT series. So we travel around the state of Minnesota, and we get to fish Mille Lacs and Lake of the Woods and Leech, some of the more premier destinations in the state. But that's what we're trying to, like Nick said, bring new ideas in and grow. And, there's nothing saying that we have to stay on pool 4. And, it would only support our mission statement more if we were to move around the state and possibly host tournaments, our own club tournaments at different destinations. So, yeah, you know, there's just always new ideas that are coming up, and we try to take them all in and listen to them and figure out what's going to be the best for the group. You know, some have to get tabled, others get talked about a lot, and yeah, you just kind of keep rolling with it.
It would be very cool to get it streamlined and then get the people in place and spread it out. One of the tournaments we've been in, the ice tournaments, ice fishing tournaments, they use StreamYard actually, and then they have some technology people that connect and did like live reports from each of 5 different lakes, I think 5 or 6 on their biggest one. And that was very cool. So, I mean, it would be amazing if you could get to that point where it would be all on the same day or same weekend or same month even, and just have these all throughout. What a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, you guys specialize in walleye. Is that your favorite fish? All of you, it's a 3-person question here. Is that your favorite fish to fish?
This guy can catch anything.
Yeah,
He can.
He can catch anything.
Yeah.
All he needs
Anybody
is a
can catch a
bobber and a
bass.
hook. I'm a walleye guy.
Yeah.
I like walleyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I honestly, to me, I absolutely love fishing for walleyes, but there's some days that they are so stubborn and finicky that you just have to like dial back and go catch a crappie or a sunfish, and just so that you know in your own mind that, okay, I can still do it. Like, you know, I'm just targeting the wrong species today, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what comes along with fishing, then there's also got to be someone that can cook. Who's the best cook in this group?
In this group,
Probably
Yeah.
all of us collectively.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can make some cinnamon toast crunch.
I just smoked a bunch of salmon today I caught in Alaska last year.
Yeah.
So that started last night, and the whole brine process, and this morning and whatnot, and it turned out pretty good. So I was pretty happy.
I can smoke some meat, but my wife handles the cooking. God bless her.
I was sitting and listening to In Service this week, and the Queen of England, bless her heart, actually was a huge fan of Minnesota walleye, and they would have her they would directly ship her some Minnesota walleye 2 times a year for her every year she was around. So that's kind of fun to know that you're on the map for the Minnesota state fish, and that and if you haven't had the chance to consume walleye, you have to try it. It is probably, there's a place, and there's a place up in Moose Lake, Minnesota, that makes a Parmesan encrusted walleye, and I tell you, it tastes like lobster as you're eating it. So I every chance I get a chance, I stop into that place and try and get the walleye there, and they don't have it all the time. They get sold out too. So would one of you be able to recognize on your plate sauger versus walleye?
I don't know.
No,
Probably not.
Yeah. That was a big controversy probably about 15 years ago here in Minnesota. A bunch of establishments were selling sauger instead of walleye, and so outstanding.
Unless you caught it, you can't tell the difference, I don't think.
I agree. I'm in that same boat. How many times a day do you think? How many times a year do you think each of you individually are out on the lake or river fishing?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, it's a good thing my wife just stepped in, so she just stepped out.
I was just going to say, I see my wife watching from home.
Right.
So she's always
You can
asking.
just hold up fingers. You don't have to say it out loud.
Yeah, right.
I guess, yeah.
Not enough. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
If
Yeah.
I had to put a number on it, I would say 100 plus,
Yeah.
125
Well,
days.
Life responsibilities get in the way, and that's but you also, this is something that you have a passion for, and you have to build that craft. And again, it is a piece of practice, and what works, when works, temperature, all the above. And where is Pool 5?
That would be south of us, like Alma to Buffalo City.
Buffalo City.
Yep.
So there was a moment we were looking at purchasing the Alma float, because we thought that'd be an amazing place just to bring day fishers and put on there, but they sold it in the meantime. And what a neat. Have you guys had a chance to participate there?
Years ago, not recently. But once again, great avenue. You know, if you don't have a boat, there are certain times of the year that the fishing is just top notch.
There's another float that's just south of there,
Genoa
and Dresbach
and Genoa has one as well,
which would be like Pool 7 and 8, 9 maybe,
somewhere down there.
It'd be like lacrosse area, lacrosse area, which is it's very similar to like the Elma float.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, let's go for another quick break, and we are going to pull up. This is recently retired First Sergeant David Allen with Bury These Burdens.
Survive.
That's David Allen Stone with Bury These Burdens. What is, and we've already touched on this, we do have some kind of formatted questions. What, you've already answered it in retrospect, but what is the next big thing for you and your group?
As far as like events go, like what's coming up next?
Events, maybe the next step in your mission, cooking dinner for your wife when you get off here, orange Captain Toast Crunch or whatever cereal.
Yeah, I mean, I think the next big event right now for us is going to be our spring seminar. And in conjunction with that, we'll also have the high school fishing sponsorship. So that's honestly through the spring seminar, that's what helps fund our Take a Vet fishing event. So what we earn from the spring seminar off of the raffle items and the raffle ticket sales, we can then come back and we can say, you know, we have X amount of dollars allotted for our Take a Vet fishing event. So as far as on the schedule, on the calendar, the spring seminar is what's up next for us.
Okay. Writing stuff down.
And that'll be in March. I believe it's March 6th. March 6th or March 8th here in Rochester. It's the Eagles Club of Rochester is where we always have that.
Excellent. The FOE getting involved. I appreciate them.
Absolutely.
Outstanding. What would be the one thing that would happen that you guys said, yep, this was success. This is what we want to do. This is what we're going to continue to do. What would be that piece?
I think, and I'm going to speak for myself, I think for me would be hopefully finding, hopefully there's someone out there that's been watching and wants to take part in some of these opportunities and these events. You know, veterans. Maybe there's a high school fishing team coach that's watching. Something like, just, I guess, to be able to give back to someone is what I'm hoping for.
Excellent.
I would agree wholeheartedly. That's what we do. I mean, honestly, from a club standpoint, we all love fishing. The high school fishing, you know, we do badges and bobbers with the Goodhue County Sheriff's Department. They do a kids fishing day, and we help with that. To be entirely honest, for me, the fishing is kind of taking a back seat, if I'm being honest. To me, it is more about the camaraderie with my club members. You know, I got to be in Caleb's wedding as a groomsman a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for our club, that would have never happened.
Yep.
I've had great friendships through this club. Kevin, I mean, if I had a flat tire in the cities, I know I could call Kevin and he'd be out there.
Yep.
If it wasn't for this club, that wouldn't happen. That's what's great about it. Doing these events, you know, the Take a Vet fishing event. I have guys I have met through this veteran event that I've went golfing with, veterans. It's just the camaraderie as a whole, and to see that continue and grow for me, fishing second, you know, I can always go fishing. You can't make memories, you know, without the people that are a part of your life. And that's what it is for me, to continue to have that, meet new people, make the memories, the camaraderie. It's phenomenal.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because Andrea earlier said that Mark doesn't normally go fishing in these events, and it's not that I don't like to go fishing. I love fishing. I love hunting. I love all those pieces. But it is when I get to these events to sit down and have conversations and build and grow, and just having that relationship piece is pivotal to these events, to these pieces. I mean, it's, you know, that you get to go talk to this person, or we set aside time to go talk to other people and build and grow. And that's the innate nature of all of us as human beings, is feeling that want of that relationship. And we jokingly say we do it selfishly, because I am getting something out of running our organization, the People's Patriot Project, because I get to meet the three of you. I get to meet the joke about paws in my name is that we, at some point, we're going to get our paws on each other. And I'm not a real, I don't know, huggy type of guy, but it's been kind of a joke. And we get to a space and you learn and you grow, and we've got outlets all over this country. So it's an awesome opportunity to build, to grow, and to show people you care. And that's kind of the caveat to all of this, is the showing that you care. And you guys are definitely showing that you care, and you're showing that you care for those who have given some, or I mean, thank goodness, not all at this moment, but the family aspect, with Jonathan talking about that, the month of November being the month of the military family, making sure that we are taking care of those that didn't sign up for the mission as well. So again, thank you guys for being here.
Thank you guys for allowing us this opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you.
Exciting to build the relationship, and to see and be actively involved in what you guys are trying to get done. And so we are, when we don't have a room full of musicians, that we tend to get through our questions a little bit quicker. The musicians are, how do we describe a musician? Fun?
I mean,
we'll just say fun.
Fun. I was going to say diva, depending on who we have, but that's just. I mean, Shannon Book's not. He's busy today, apparently. So
yeah, he's not here hacking us today. That's.
But actually, small world. I just saw a picture of Shannon with his big old arm around Brandon Mills. Is that crazy? Yeah, is that cool?
Brandon Miller.
Yeah, Miller in your world. Mills in the rest of the world.
It's Mills. Brandon Mills. If you get a chance, go. You can see all of our music. Let me rephrase this. You can see all of our musicians on Spotify, on YouTube. Then you can come and check them out on WeP3 Radio as well. So get a chance in there. If you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see all of our musicians lined up. And when we say our musicians, we are not literally taking ownership of any of them. It has been a built relationship where we have conversations, and they like to come on and do what we're doing on our show and at the events that we get to sponsor and be part of. So this is a good time. Andrea, I'm going to make you are the boss. I don't know why I'm saying I'm making you, but you are the boss. Do we want to do final thoughts and then end on a song, or do we want to do a song and then get to our final thoughts?
We can do the final thoughts and then end with our one of my favorite sounds. So you want me to start final thoughts?
Yeah, you're going to start.
I love starting. Jonathan, I know you're watching. I'm going to kill you, but here we go. Jonathan, he thinks so deeply. So I can't match his final thoughts. But you guys, I want to thank you so much for being here and for everything that you do. And it ties in. We always talk about the community, and healing comes from a community, and the support and the caring of the community. And you are building up an amazing community with what you're doing. It's not just a veteran community, but within it, it will support veterans. It will support kids. It will support the neighbors and the Fisher people who come out. But that's an amazing piece. And you guys are doing a great job at that. And I'll jump in. I can't volunteer much because Peterson's got a very stringent schedule for me, but I will be right here watching and listening and throwing my 2 cents worth in a lot. So thank you. Thank you very much. And another piece is that, we preach collaboration a lot, And I think you are collaborating not in the planning maybe, but with the people. Your reach is like Ryan. How did I know that you would know Ryan? Isn't that weird?
Right.
We met him so long ago. And so those groups touch each other. And so even though that's not a planning piece for you, that's still the people that you're reaching. So, and also I want to say, because I am not a veteran. I'm a teacher. And I was an at-home mom for a long time, but I have that service heart, I think, and I appreciate and honor the things that military and first responders have done and continue to do. And so when you said how you get to be a part of that, and it's so touching to be on, and I get accepted in ways I didn't think I would in those groups. And I think I'm a good listener. And sometimes that's all that they need is someone to care and someone to listen. And that opens up conversations that they didn't plan on sharing probably at all. And they needed to, or it wouldn't have come to the surface. So I appreciate that you understand. Just that moment piece of where things just kind of flow. And that's what your purpose, getting on that boat with those veterans and others, just opens that up in such a huge way. So thank you so much for what you do. And I'm not kidding. I hope a pontoon would be okay because I'll drive. I'll captain.
We've had them. We've had them.
Yep.
I think Pepin's kind of big. The waves on a windy day might scare me. But
You're
I'm
fine.
willing to try. We can fish on the edges, but well, and then I just want to mention our next guest next week is I met with this Susan Combs. She had, okay, you guys got to help me with a major general. Is that how you say?
Yep.
Her dad's a major general. Okay, he's passed. His name was Roger, and he had the throat cancer from Agent Orange, so he couldn't really eat table food. But she used to get up and have breakfast with him every morning. And I'm condensing our whole conversation, but it touched her in a different way when she got up one morning and got downstairs and he had breakfast all set up. And she said, "Dad, what are you doing?" And he said, "I just want pancakes today." He couldn't eat. There was no way for him to eat. But that was just a piece of all the life advice that he had given her. And then it came, now her as an adult and dealing with him. So that'll be she started a nonprofit, and once a year, so we're going to join her on the day her next upcoming Pancakes for Roger Day. But across the world, she just wants people to eat pancakes that day and think about her dad and the military. And so, maybe we'll be a little satellite pancake breakfast or something, but I think she'll be interesting. She's a powerful, powerful speaker, and she'll talk about her background that way, but she actually she knows a ton of people funny that we know as well, but she's thinking about a musician. We don't have a musician for next week yet. I also wanted to add, this is our little link. Those of you in Minnesota who would like to donate to Wreaths Across America, this is our sponsorship group Facebook page. And you can order from the link right there. It'll take you right to our sponsorship page, and you can order right through there. Our wreaths are just $17 per wreath. And our sponsorship groups, if you pick one, gets a $5 kickback. And a lot of I've talked to the Hastings Rivertown Lions Club, the Daughters of the Revolution, Claudia, they fundraise their whole year by getting these sponsorship wreaths through their clubs. So cool thing. It's, like I say, it's $17 a wreath. And I know one wreath, when there's 190,000 persons buried, there's 296,000 people buried there, I think, and 190,000 headstones of veterans. Because there's the columbariums and then, other pieces where it's not a grave or a headstone. But one doesn't seem like much. But in the end, 1,000 ones is a lot. So thank you for all the people that have just been ordering and even just checking it out and offering to volunteer. It's an amazing event to be part of. So that happens on December 14th at Fort Snelling, leave early. It's 11 o'clock in the morning for the ceremony. It gets to be a big. Someone was telling me the other day that they were trying to get a wreath last year. This was my first year last year. And they were trying to get a wreath from one of the trucks. And it was like a horrible Black Friday experience. Everybody wanted wreaths and they wanted them now. And they were going to push and shove and jump and pull to get wreaths. And we don't want that. We would rather have more wreaths so nobody feels like they have to charge the trucks. So there's that long story. But thanks again for coming tonight, you guys. We will for sure be in touch always.
Mr. Kinzer.
Yeah.
Final thoughts.
Okay. I promise to make it a single final thought. Tomorrow, Veterans Day, I'd just like to ask everybody to, reach out to somebody. If you're a veteran, thank you for your service. I hope you're in a good place. But reach out to somebody you know. Make sure they're in a good place too. Thank them for their service. There's nothing to say that us veterans can't thank each other. Just make sure people know that they're appreciated. You just never know where somebody's at, in their own headspace. And sometimes a kind word from a brother or sister or somebody you don't even know can go a long way. So make sure on that day you reach out and touch somebody in that way.
Thank you, sir. Caleb, any thoughts?
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot.
Everyone gets a chance, brother.
First off, thank you guys for this opportunity. I know that I was looking forward to being able to share what we do. And, I watched a few of your podcasts prior to, so I just kind of had an understanding of the People's Patriot Project. And, Andrea, like you had said, it's how you knew Ryan and we know Ryan. It's the industry, or like the fishing world, is so it's so tight knit. It's huge, but it's tight knit. And I tomorrow, like Veterans Day to me, and I know that I'm kind of just rambling and going off. Brian, to go off of what you had said about reaching out to someone, and this is going to hit home for Nick and I and Kevin. One of our club members 4 years ago, we should have talked a little bit more, because it was one of those deals where it kind of blindsided us, and he's no longer with us. So absolutely reach out to anyone and everyone. We're all in it together. And if you can be someone's ear, sometimes that's all you need to be, is just someone's ear. So thank you guys for this opportunity.
You're 100% accurate with that. Thank you. Nick, final thoughts.
Piggyback on what Caleb said, thank you for the opportunity. Kevin and Caleb would say I'm not a man that talks very much, so
disagree.
That's I was gonna say I could ramble on for hours. I mean, thanks for the opportunity to highlight what we do with our Take a Vet fishing. By all means, boats, veterans. We have a Facebook page. We have a website. Let's make this thing bigger, better. Let's get these guys and women and men and service members, Gold Star families. Let's get them out on the water. It's not about catching fish. That plays second. A lot of these veterans, the first one I had just wanted to go for a boat ride because my boat was fast. And he's like, I don't want to fish, just drive. We're here for that. That's what it's about. Don't be scared. It's a great day. Reach out to Kevin, Caleb, myself, a club member. Even if it's just a talk, we're here.
Yep.
We're here. So thank you.
I always say our club is never more than a message or a phone call away. And myself, Kevin, or Nick, we have several other members that are able to message back and forth with people. like Nick said, just we're never more than a phone call away.
Outstanding. Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, again, thank you guys for the opportunity, and thank you for what you do here. This is a great program. It's a great way to reach out to people. Ironically, as I sit here, the vet that I've taken over a couple of times just texted me. So, I mean, I have this ongoing relationship with a vet that I've taken out twice, and you know what? He likes to share some funny memes, and it's just ironic that I'm sitting here doing this podcast with you, and he reaches out to me. So, like we mentioned before, the fishing secondary, it's the friendships, it's the people you meet along the way, it's the stories, it's an ear that you lend to somebody. That's what really matters in this whole world right now. So, again, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Kevin. And ironically enough, this is where we get to our call to action that we do every single week to make sure that we are in and have a commitment and a relationship in making a difference in people's lives. Everyone has a device in their possession. I don't know anyone that doesn't have a phone these days. And even if it's a flip phone, whatever, we do ask you to take and type in, I was just thinking about you, and copy that. And we would like you to send that to 6 people in your contact list. Sorry, not sorry. They're on your contact list for a reason. You have a relationship with them for a reason. And yes, we are veteran and first responder forward, but we are realizing and seeing the things that are attaching our world right now. Everyone needs to be watching everyone's back right now. We've allowed some of the stuff to creep into our back doors that doesn't need to be there. Appreciate you, Stephen. Got her done right away. I challenge everyone every week to do that one conversation that everyone has, that one relationship that things got sideways for some reason. You had someone in your life that was important and critical to you as a function in your world, and something went awry. Probably a bad joke went right, or just maybe you were too busy one weekend or one time and couldn't show up to something that was important for another person. There's a multitude of reasons. I reach out to that one hard conversation and just say, hey, was just thinking about you. If they don't respond back to you, you've done your diligence. And again, I wouldn't let that rest on that one text again. I would come back to that. I don't have a calculator or a calendar that says when or how or if you should. I just know that there's relationships in my life that I can clean up, and that there are some men and women that I have served with that just need to be lifted up. Tomorrow is Veterans Day. I know a lot of veterans will post their pictures on Facebook. I don't change stuff, so it's been something that's been there for a long time. It has nothing to do with me being a veteran, but and there's a whole philosophy that I go through down this road that you don't need to hear about tonight. But we thank our amazing guests that were here tonight. We thank the amazing listeners that have listened and tuned in and commented. Derek Iozio, I did see you. For some reason, they are doing I don't know if they did a cleanse this weekend or this week with the profiles, but we had a lot of Facebook users chiming in tonight, not our regular faces that we normally have and know and love and are here every weekend. So we appreciate all of you. Get a chance, check out Reads Across America. Fort Snelling, if you get a chance, check out Reads Across America as a whole. They do an amazing job of honoring, remembering, and teaching those, and we are absolutely blessed. Thank you, Mr. Aguilar. We appreciate you. You seem to be a new face in our space. So
no, it's Domingo. He's not new.
Oh, that's right. He's a musician.
His wife.
Yep. Yep. Been a while though. Been a while. So, with that said, Andrea, anything else we got?
I think that's good.
All right. Well, recently we had the amazing Michael Buck on, and he has this amazing song about one of the major roads that people travel district, known as the Irish Road. This is Michael Buck. Irish Road.
Spun around in resurrection, laying rest to wayward souls. We never saw our future, only memories to hold of a place much rich and greener. I left my West Virginia home. I gambled all I had away to walk down the Irish Road. Well, this place is dry and barren, but they say Jesus walked these streets. Keep a Bible right beside my head each night when I'm asleep. Well, I used to not believe it, but Mama prayed to save my soul. 'Cause Lucifer's alive and well, he lives down the Irish Road. St. Bridget, come and save me before the devil takes control. Once what was a heart of gold is now as black as coal. And I still see all the faces I laid beneath the cobblestone. Each night they come and haunt me from down the Irish Road. Set fire to Armageddon, I rained the brass down in the sand, and he cried out for Janie as he reached and took my hand. But now the piper man's blowing while the angels take him home. St. Michael lost another son down the Irish Road. Pray St. Bridget, come and save me before the devil takes control. Once what was a heart of gold is now as black as coal. And I swear I see the faces I laid beneath the cobblestones. Each night they come and haunt me from down the Irish Road. Every night they come and haunt me from down the Irish Road.
coming back.